Alright guys, it's another day and I have everything back together. Everything in the front here, the dash. You know, I didn't take a lot of video here at the end, but I put it all back together and I actually started the motor for the first time since I removed it. And luckily it started, but unluckily it had a ticking sound, you know. Kind of like a clicking, ticking kind of noise. So, you know, I was kind of bummed about that. Immediately started doing some research and reaching out to some buddies. And, you know, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but my assumption and what I've gathered from talking to people is that these motors, the hydraulic lifters, will stick, and that could give you kind of a clicking, ticking sound. So I guess that happens from the motor sitting. You know, I only had it out, I guess, for about 2 weeks, but it also, the whole van has sat here for a couple months now without being run. So, you know, I guess that's possible. It wasn't ticking though when I drove it into the spot, so definitely a little concerning. My buddy recommended, he asked me what oil I was using. I filled it up with 10W30. High mileage, and you know, he actually recommended to use 2050, so I went out and invested in some 2050. I'm going to try this 2050 oil and rev it at a high RPM, and that's what it was recommended to me. And in the process, I'm still bleeding the coolant out. It's a slow process, but I pretty much got it now to where it is bled. I just got to top it off and make sure I keep an eye on it. And then it also appears I might have a coolant leak here in the back, so I got to keep an eye on these hoses when it warms up and go from there. So I'm going to start it and we'll see if that sound is here or if it goes away, but I doubt it's going to go away that quick. So I'll start it right now and you guys can hear it. All right, I'm in the captain's chair. Battery is connected. We're in neutral. All right. Just let it warm up. Alright, I just turned it off. I'm going to check the oil level again just to make sure that we're good there. And just a couple things to note. Definitely some weird sounds, two weird sounds. There's that tick, which you could probably hear, and then there was kind of a weird sound, which I'm assuming is one of the rollers that I installed. I've been the last couple days kind of regretting the rollers that I installed in here. It was a package deal for the water pump where they came with it, and you know, I'm not sure the brand, but I can only assume that they're Chinese. And you know, after talking to some people, you know, I figured maybe I should have known better, but yeah, I'm kind of regretting those rollers I used. So I was debating on, do I just proactively replace those with Subaru OEM, or do I just keep it, you know, how it is? Because even though they're Chinese, you know, they should at least last a little bit, you know, they shouldn't be just bad right out of the box, right? I mean, I guess you never know. Anyways, that's just been on my mind. I definitely heard a weird kind of noise coming from in here that had me thinking about that. So I'm gonna check the oil level and go again, see if we can maybe get that tick to go away, and then keep listening for that other sound. Alright, it's been warming up for a minute, but listen to this noise. Alright, well, it sounds a lot better. You can kind of hear the ticking a little bit. It sounds a lot better, but now I'm dealing with a second noise that I didn't hear previously, which is sounding like something on the timing belt with the rollers. So definitely a scary sounding noise. I'm gonna go back and show you guys one more time, but definitely concerning. A little bit, maybe a lot of it, I'm not sure. It's coming from over here. Alright guys, it's yet another day, and well, I'm feeling pretty happy this morning. I just came out and decided to mess around with this. You know, I was happy I got the ticking sound to go away. That just seemed to be the hydraulic lifters, but I was concerned about that other noise I was hearing. So, fearing for the worst of the bearings, you know, I came out here and started it, and then I actually figured out the problem, or I'm 99% sure I figured out the problem. So it's actually nothing to do with up here. The noise is coming from the heat shield. Thank God. And I'll show you guys. Get down here. So here's the back of the heat shield. And on the top there, the heat shield is wedged in by these bolts. You see there's one there, there's one on the top. So this heat shield, see all that play? So what's happening is at higher RPMs, the heat shield is shaking and that noise is coming from down there. So when I was putting all this together, I noticed that, and you know, I thought to myself, well, I'll try and rig up something to keep it from flapping around, because I figured when I was going down the highway I would hear it, because I used to hear it rattle a little bit. But yeah, I should have thought of that earlier. I was starting to fear the worst, starting to second guess my purchase on those bearings. But yeah, let me show you guys real quick. I'm gonna start it up and I'll hold my foot against it to keep it from shaking, and you'll hear. All right, so I'm gonna put my foot against it, or at least try to. Alright, now I'm going to take my foot off. So yeah, you can kind of hear it when it hits, I don't know, 2,000 RPMs or so, or I'm not exactly sure, but when it starts to rev up, you hear that noise. So I just gotta rig up something to connect, keep it tight down there, figure out something, think about it, And in the meantime, everything's looking really good. You know, I was really second guessing and bummed about hearing noises, especially after spending all of my time putting this in, but we got a helicopter down there. It's kind of an eerie day. Let's see if we can find him. Anyways, yeah, I'm feeling really good about this. Just gotta kind of fix that. And I had a couple tiny drips of coolant. Forgot to tighten the clamp down there, and I had to situate the clamp right here. And just some little things. I realized I hid my wires down here, but they're rubbing against the coolant hose. So I'll probably move those just to keep them out from the contact of heat. And I got this. I'm getting the system, the coolant system bled every time I started and let it cool down. It seems that it's kind of doing it on its own, and I've been coming up to the front and cracking the bleeder valve here with a 13mm. So right there. So yeah, everything's been going pretty good here. It seems like it got the coolant bled, and I can feel it getting hot all the way up to the top. And then my gauge is staying pretty much where it's supposed to be. I'm sure there's still a little air in the system, so it's just a gradual keep running it and then let it cool down and let the extra reservoir here fill into the expansion tank. And anyways, I'm gonna stop talking and figure out what the heck I'm gonna do now. Oh, my wiring here is wrong, so I gotta rewire this. One of these wires, I have to figure out, I forget which one, I think it might be this one. One of these two yellow wires is supposed to actually connect to the starter or the ignition, and that's what's been killing my battery. I've had a battery drain that's been dying, killing the battery after like 3 days of not using it. Totally dead. So yeah, I'm gonna try and fix that, and then, you know, slowly test if that's it. But as of now, you know, I really got to move on to that other bus I'm working on. So I still got more work to do on this thing, but you know, I might put it to the side for just a couple weeks. So yeah, anyways,